myself. So by the time I noticed the time, we had already spent most of the time.
Right.
So I couldn't open the lines, but I promised them I open the lines today. Now, Eric, you told us a part of your story when you were here last week, uh, how you trekked from Bong Mines up to Nimba
Mm-hmm.
and then into Danane, Ghana, on to Ghana, Togo,
Benny,
Benin, then
Nigeria.
Nigeria, how you went to prison, all of that. Oh, I beg you people, I'll open the lines for you to talk to Eric. Not now. Let me talk to Eric a bit. And your story was so fascinating and, and so touching that a lot of people I was mesmerized, I tell you, fantasized by what you explained. But coming into your own way of trying to give back to your own people. You mentioned that you have built a school hosting about close to 3,000 Liberian children, uh, helping them, helping to educate them, helping other people, destitute people in your community,
Um,
helping them build homes where they can be able to stay. Now, let's get back. You're in the States now, and I see you're in touch with partners who can assist. Tell us some of the people that you're involved with as you try to bring back to your own people. Uh, but first, give us a recap shortly. Just a recap.
well,
So
thank
so
you.
those who missed you the first time, but I'm
Well,
sure a lot of people listen to you.
no, thanks. I appreciate it. It's my pleasure to be here again this morning. Thank you for the opportunity to be here. Like I said last week, my story is not really a story of entertainment. I think it's a
No, not
story,
at all.
yeah, there to motivate, to captivate, it's there to encourage, to stir up, to challenge people, to provoke people to action. That's what I'm hoping that by sharing this story, people will be, challenged to do the things that I expect from them. It's not to say, "Oh, that's a great story," and then you walk home and forget about it the next moment. So, like I said the last time I was here, the war started. We walked across the border into Ivory Coast, from Ivory Coast to Ghana, to Togo, to Benin, to Nigeria finally, and went over several refugee camps across the West African coast. And then eventually, I was given an opportunity to travel to the States as a refugee. Long before then, we started a computer school in the refugee camp with one single computer that was given to me as a donation by a Nigerian, a Goodwill Nigerian. And that one computer was used to establish the organization that I run today. From that one computer, we have been able to give away over 10, 15,000 computers over the last 7 years from that one computer in a camp. And then, like I said again, in that camp, we trained about
So
70.
you went back to that camp and gave computers.
No, no. I mean,
Okay.
that one computer which was given as a gift from this one Nigerian, and this is what I'm hoping people can take away from the story. It was one Nigerian that gave one computer to a
Yes.
Liberian refugee. That one computer wanted to multiply into several thousands of computers that
Okay.
have been used to train people both here in Liberia, in Nigeria, and other places around the country and
Okay.
overseas. So that's the connection I want to make.
All right.
So we train people there, and I mentioned to you last time that one of the guys that I always talk about, and some of the people I always talk about when it comes,
Caroline McBeer,
yeah, yeah,
the press secretary to
he
the president.
yeah, to the president was there. He saw it from the very beginning in the refugee camp. But that organization, when I went to the States, have grown over the years. We've been around since 2003 as a nonprofit from the refugee camp. Then, without any address, without having any idea where we were going, all we had was a passion to make a difference, a heart to want to make a difference, to change our world. What is going to be our place in the history books? What will we be remembered for when we die? What will be our role in rebuilding Liberia or moving Liberia to the next level? Those are some of the questions, personally, I
You,
was trying to.
you want your name to be written in history books.
Well, uh, yeah, because the thing about it is that all I have is tied to my story. I am who I am because of my story. Okay, and for my kids to be able to remember that, or as a nation, for our children to be able to remember that, we must be able to write it down, and remind them every day about what happened. I mean, we had 14 years of civil war just quite recently, and it looked as though we all have forgotten. The children that were born in the 90s and early 2000 and up to maybe the last 5 years don't have any idea what happened here 14 years ago. I mean, during the 14 years civil war, they don't have any idea until we Liberians can begin to write those books and remind them daily about where we came from, how we got to where we are. We are going to forget, and all of our efforts will be in vain. So that's why I said the place. So back to the storyline. We ran that school, and then eventually the U.S. government gave me an opportunity to travel to the States on a refugee relocation program as a result of the work that I was doing in the camp at the time. And then in 2004, we came to Liberia for the first time. I wanted to bring that vision that started in the refugee camp with that one computer of impacting the lives of underprivileged youths to Liberia. So we bought 1 acre of land in Jagotown Rehab Community Area, built the first school over there. Currently, we have about, I think, 1,000 to 1,300 people in that school in Jagotown Rehab.
Computer school?
Both computer and academic. We extended it now to full-time academic program, not just computer. So computer is part of it, but we have academic.
Academic.
Yeah, because the thing is that you can't teach a man computer when he doesn't know how to read and write. Computer is about reading. It's about writing. It's about comprehension. So we thought that most of the guys who we should be teaching have not even finished high school, don't know what to do. So let's go back to the business. Let's start teaching them how to read and write.
So what's the level of the school?
The school now currently runs, the one in Morovia area runs from nursery through 12th grade.
Nursery to 12th grade?
Yeah, it's free of charge.
In that Jacobtown
Yeah,
area?
rehab
area.
Yeah, rehab community, free of charge.
What's the name of that school?
The school is called the Heart of Grace High School.
Heart of Grace High School.
Yeah,
Free
of charge. And
free of charge
for 4 years now. This is the 5th year.
From
Nursery to 12th
nursery to 12th grade.
Right.
Free of charge.
Free of charge. Right.
Free uniforms.
No, we don't give our uniform for free.
Oh,
There's no tuition attached to the school.
No
That's
tuition.
what we mean. But uniforms has to do with the students' own benefit, so we don't provide that.
They provide their own uniforms and books.
Yeah. No, we have the books.
You have the books.
Yeah,
you give them free books.
Yeah, we have free books in the school. Not to take it home. We have a well-equipped library where all the books are kept for both the instructional staffs and the students themselves to benefit.
So when you come to school, you go there, you get books.
You get books. You do your research. You do what you're supposed to do, and then
After school, you return the books.
Yeah, you return the books. You go back home.
And you go back home.
Right.
Free of charge.
Free of charge.
Nursery to 12th grade.
It's been running for 4 years. This is the 5th year we're in. So the computer school.
Well, how come you can run? You a refugee, man. You ran away. You went, got one computer. You managed to go to the States. You didn't stay there, but you're coming back to. How can you run a school from nursery to 12th grade, free education, free school? How you can do that?
Well,
how are you able to do that?
I think it has to do with the heart. You know, who cries you see and who makes you cry. What is there any situation that breaks your heart? Okay, for me, what breaks my heart is looking at my life, the way I live my life, the things that happen to me, trying to ensure that that particular thing that almost killed me, that did not kill me, doesn't kill somebody else in the future. So I'm playing my part, which is, okay, education is what I have. If we're going to change the nation, then let's focus on the next generation, because this generation now, we are going to be the correction fluid in saving the next one. So we got to put everything we got on the table, our lives down on the table. We got to become the sacrificial ram so that we can save the next one. Because we lost the past one, and the current one, we are struggling with it. We have no idea where we're headed. So what do we do? Let's go back to the basics. So I believe change is not going to come from University of Liberia. It's not going to come from the higher institutions. It's going to come from the bottom. It's going to come from the grassroots. The children, the elementary school kids that are coming up, that have no idea how we got to where we are at as a nation. So that's why I got involved with primary education or high school education, that we can mold their minds. We can give them a heart. We can give them a vision. We can help them to understand who they are, and where they want to go in their lives.
Now, you have such a school, nursery to 12th grade, and
we have 5 of those schools, not one.
In Liberia, yeah?
In Liberia, yes, sir.
From nursery to 12th grade?
Yeah, there's one we just finished in Bon County. It was open about 3 weeks ago. There we have another 1,100 students right between the police academy in Bon County and then the National Security Hub. Yeah, it's there. It's called Alexandra A. Andrews Academy. It's the largest high school ever built in that county, and the most modern.
The one in Monrovia you call
Heart of Grace.
Heart of Grace.
Yeah, and the one in Bonn is called Alexandra A. Andrews Academy.
Where you getting the names from?
Oh, the names, the first one, the Heart of Grace, I thought from the beginning that we couldn't have been able to do anything like that on our own without the grace of God. So it takes the heart
Fine,
of
that's what
Christian.
I want to get from you. Is there a religious aspect attached to all of this you're doing? A religious
There
point?
is a religious aspect attached to it because of my personal story. Some of the things that I went through personally, I cannot explain to you how I survived it, how I got out of it. So that gave me
Especially when those vigilantes grabbed you,
grabbing and I almost killed that money.
almost killed.
That money. So I mean, my mom wasn't around. The government of Liberia wasn't around. Nobody was around to save me from that situation. So when I sit down and reflect, talk to myself about how did I go through all of this. Even today, running the school, like
It
you,
must
you,
have been God.
yeah, like you kind of surprised about how can he run the high school free of charge.
Yeah, I want to ask, where are the other schools? You said five of them.
We have one in Lofa County between Zaza and Feasible Town on the 8 acres property just before you get to the Zara TTI.
You're
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
You're very
So we have one over there. We have one here in Marshall,
in
right
my
after Boys Town, going towards the Coast Guards Bay in a village called Baba Joe Town. There is an 8 acre property too, situated by the lagoon, which is what we want to do is to create a model.
all of these schools functioning as we speak.
We have two fully functional right now.
The one at Jacob Town,
Town. We had 1,000. I would say total 1,500 a day, and then we have another one in Banga,
the
which
one in
is
Banga.
running
So,
effectively.
so the others you build, you constructing them.
Yeah, the one in Lofa, we have done our first building. We are on the second building at window level right now. That's on the 8 acre properties. The one in Marshall, we have done the guest house completed, construction commenced, or we have cleared the entire property. We are about erecting the structures there for to launch, jumpstart our programs in that area. Then we have Compound 3 in Grand Bassa County. I mean, Grand Bassa County.
Yeah, Grand Bassa.
Yeah, Compound 3. We have that going, and then our next target would be Nima, and then somewhere in the southeastern part of the country.
So how do you go about selecting the sites where you will build these schools?
Well, normally we do it through education. We go into a community, like the one in Lofa, we did not buy the land. The one in Johnsonville, we did buy the land. The one in Banga, we bought the land for $10,500 on the 5 acres to build that place.
Eric Wowoh
Yeah,
bought
that,
the land.
yeah, we bought that land. That was back in November, and that building over there cost about $500,000. The one in Bond County. I think the senior senator visited the place, and some other top officials from the county. The representative George Mortimer was there to see what was going on at the time. We build those things. What we do is that we believe in the grassroots so much because you are who you are based upon the society you live in. The people around you makes you who you are. Without them, you are nothing, zero. So what we do, we go to the people and say, this is what we want to do for you. This is what we are willing to do. We have the resources or we have the connection to buy your bricks, but we want you to get involved in building. So that's the way we do it. So with the selection, the goal of this organization, our goal is to reach out to all of the 15 counties of Liberia, but within the next 10 years. That's the goal. It's an aggressive goal to build free school in every county within the next 15 years. So we are in 5 already. So we got 10 more to reach out to. Well, there's no big hand. There's no government official. There's no government entity or unit or whatever supporting this work. There's no particular church. They say, well, this is the Lutheran and Catholic or Methodist supporting this. We are an organization, an independent organization that is funded by donation from the general public. It could be a Muslim, it could be a Christian, it could be a free thinker, whoever you are. As long as you have a heart for change and you believe in our work, those are the people who support it. So there's no big donors out there. The real people, the real significant people are the people who live in these communities where we work. They are the ones that volunteer to build the schools. They are the ones that volunteer to teach. Most of our teachers are volunteer. In rehab here in Monrovia area, Jacotown Rehab, we have about 57 teachers. That means 57 persons on the payroll. Okay, and then in Banga we have another 57. So that gives you a total of 100,
104.
14 or 4, yeah. So that's the way it is. So there's 104 people depending on you daily to take back home.
114.
114 to take back money home to take care of their families. You get what I'm saying? And the school is free. So these things are there. But like I said again, it's not about talking about the issues. I'm interested in what I'm really interested in is taking actions to addressing the issues that almost killed us.
Now, I know last week you mentioned that you got separated from your parents.
Yeah.
Were you able to Re-
reconnect. Yeah,
yes.
yeah. I did that in 2000. My first time coming back to Liberia actually was in 2000. No, sorry, take it back. Yeah, 2004. Roosevelt Woods, who is currently the director of Foundation for International
Mm-hmm.
Dignity, and I live in a refugee camp with roommates, and when this whole project started. But he came back home before me, and when he came back, he said, "Man, I'm going to help you get a land." So when he came, my first time to Monrovia, I wasn't living in Monrovia. I grew up in Beaumont. I have no idea what Monrovia was. Okay, but when Roosevelt came back in Kawa, he called me and he said, "Well, we got a piece of land in Kawa. If you're interested, we can buy the land." So I came down, stayed with him at his house in Kawa. The land we saw, I wasn't real quite comfortable with it because of the distance. Then the road was pretty bad out there. And then all of a sudden, we got a cheaper land in the rehab community. So we switched over to that place. But he helped to incorporate the changes in network in Liberia back then in 2003. And then he's still on the board of Change and Network, and we are still very good friends. Sometimes he comes to the States to visit, and we hang out together. So that's how we took rehab. And then in Lofa, that's where I'm from. I went back home, met with the village people in 2012, and I told them I'm back. I came here to build a school in this town. Nobody had ever built a private institution, so we want to build a place, but I can't pay for the land. I want it for free. So the village people came together, and I showed them, all right, this is what we've done in other places, and it's important that we do it right here. So they came out together and gave us 8 acres of land for free.
Why you spending a lot of money? I know you got siblings, brothers and sisters.
Right,
You've been able to reconnect with them.
right.
Uh, Someone might ask, why are you taking all your money and spending it on people? Perhaps people you don't even know, even though they're Liberians, they're not your relatives, your friends or anything, and you're spending a lot of money like that on them. Why you looking at something in the future? Somebody after you left from here, somebody said maybe that man wants to